Welcome back this morning. We're talking about safety on the football field as we gear up for football season this fall. One program here in Tallahassee spreading awareness about playing safely and creating a better experience for players. Joining me this morning are Lee Davis with Leon County Parks and Recreation and Mike Wallace, a Big Bend Pop Warner player safety coach. Pretty important stuff we've been talking about, especially concussions have kind of been a hot topic issue. And of course they can happen pretty much anywhere in any sport, but we're talking about a program called Heads Up Football, focusing really on 6 key areas to keep players safe. Why is that really so important, what you guys are trying to do, especially with these young players?
Well, the thing with concussions in sports has just always been, we're really concerned, ultra concerned after the last few years of pro athletes coming out and kind of talking against football and letting their own children play. The CDC has come out along with the Heads Up USA Football, come out and said, look, we need to study and see how we could service these children better.
And you guys are doing some concussion education as well, making sure parents and players are aware. Really, where does this kind of start?
I think it does start with the little kids, and that's what I was going to say, is kind of once we teach our youngest players the fundamentals of how to do it safely, then they move throughout their sports career understanding what those fundamentals are and how to best prevent injuries, concussions in particular. And then if they do happen, how do you treat them, and how long do you stay off the field in order to, be back on safely and play safely.
And now when we're talking about football, we've heard about certain ways to tackle, make sure you have the right form, and of course equipment is a huge part, making sure it fits correctly. What should parents be on the lookout for when maybe their kids are practicing in the backyard, not realizing you can get hurt this way too?
Well, and that's the thing that when you look at the numbers and look at statistics, children have suffer more concussions falling off the bicycle in the backyard. Children that are playing a tackle football sport, it's not just something that is unique to that sport. Concussion is not really prevented from any special helmet or any other apparatus that we'll put around the head. It's a trauma to the shaking of the brain inside of the head. And the most important thing is that adults and coaches are able to identify a child that may have been exposed to a concussion, and that how do we treat it, and how long do we treat it and keep a child from play. That's kind of how football has arrived, because most of our football players want to get back to it as soon as they can, and we have to step up, be safe for them, even in times where they can't make that decision for themselves. And
you have some pretty important educational workshops coming up for parents and athletes. They're coming up pretty soon. Sports concussion education and awareness and baseline testing, so pretty good stuff there.
Right. We're partnering with TOC, Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic, to do an event at Academy of Sports. It's a baseline testing for concussion awareness, and it's kind of a concussion awareness weekend, and then followed up on Saturday with some trainings for parents of players and coaches and that sort of thing as well. Again, on the fundamentals of how to prevent them and then how to recognize them as well.
And you're seeing some of the details up there on your screen. We'll, of course, put everything up on our website at WTXL.TV. Very important information for young athletes and old athletes and parents and coaches alike. So thank you both for being here. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the final check of your headlines. Don't go away.